Hi everyone, this is Vivian. I am Vivian Marisha. This is Detangling Brazil. Thank you for being here. And the title of this talk with you today is Brazil is Boiling. Yes, we are. I'm in London and it's very hot here. And as I said to you, I got a bit of cold, so the voice will not be very good. So let's go straight to this subject. So of course I have started to apologize and explain to you that my neighbor is the firemen people, the fire brigade are my neighbors. They're lovely people, but they make noise. So if you hear a noise or someone arriving in my home, it means that they caught me on action in the middle of something. As I told you the other day, I'm trying to do more videos, but there's always people in the house and I wait to be pretty and presentable and I can't do it, so let's do it. Let's do it. So yes, thank you for watching. So the subject of today, as I said to you, Brazil is boiling. Why? Of course, you may be aware elections are coming. We have less than 100 days until the next term of the elections, and the reason I'm talking to you today is that to tell you that next week Bolsonaro is going to invite about 100 or 150 embassies, representatives, to explain to them how our election is going to happen, how it works, and some doubts, some things that they may be hearing. And he's going to prove with documents, with papers, okay, this is how it works and how it is happening. And why he's doing that? Because as you may be aware that abroad people have a lot of information what is happening in Brazil, but actually the question is what is being broadcast in abroad is what is actually happening in Brazil in regards to many subjects, and elections is one of them. So he's inviting around, as I said, 100, 150 representatives of other countries, sorry, to explain to them and to prove to them how effective or not our voting electronic system. As I told you previously, if you have not watched my video, sorry, it's about half an hour video, but I had to do it that long because I have to tell a bit of the history of it and why it is over there. If you go to the website of the TSE, which is our electoral high court, which there's only in Brazil, I think. So it's written there, the voting system cannot be audited, cannot be recounted, cannot be checked. So if you have a system like that, you have to be very careful, have to worry. And this awareness on how it works and how we have to worry about it, Bolsonaro has been warning people, warning Brazilians. And why he says that? Because it's national security. You know that if people cannot trust a voting system, if people cannot trust, do I vote to this guy? Is my vote going to be counted? So this is why he's talking so much. In some ways, media, mainstream media, is putting in the way that he wants people to, is kind of brainwash people, but it's actually he's just making average people like me that needs very, very secure information. So he's going to invite these people and do this presentation with PowerPoint, with documents, and mainly he's going to show them the results of the, sorry, as I said to you, I have this cold, so I'll be coughing now and then, sorry about that. So he's going to present some documents from the elections from 2014 and 2018. Why he's doing that? On 2014 was Dilma, the PT, Lula, Labour Party. Dilma as head, that she was running to be re-elected. And the other candidate said, I myself believe, not because she was great, not because the other candidate was great, was marvelous, had a story of being a saint or something, but just to oppose Dilma. It was already 12 years of the Labour Party. As you remember the numbers, unemployment was horrible, inflation was horrible, dollar was, compared to real, was really, really up, and a lot of things, economy was down, people were not very happy, plus car wash, plus bribes, plus a lot of other things that they do, and they did, and people were aware of that. But even then, somehow Dilma won the elections. Fact, they were counting the votes. At some point there was a blackout, and then I asked the other candidate was winning, and then there was this blackout, and then Dilma came, and then she won the elections. So again, just to reinforce, the other candidate that lost, he requested a recount of the votes, and it took 1 year to the federal police say to them, look, we can't, this system, we can't recount, we can't audit, we can't, there's no way we can check if you lost actually or not. And we advise the country to change to a printable, to a second way of checking it, and it was totally ignored. They said they're going to do it in the next election, but they didn't do it. There was back and forth. I explained that on the other video that I did about our voting electronic system. So yes, number one. Number two, he's going to prove that he won 2018 elections first round. And he's pretty sure, if he's a serious guy, the army is with him, helping to understand the system and fix the system, which they were, in another video explained to you, they were invited to go because there are some kind of doubts about the system. So they were invited, the army was invited to help to improve. It was accepted, some decisions, some suggested accepted, some not, but end of story, the army is there in order to stabilize, in order to make it more trustful, in a way that can be checked. So I'm just trying to do this video very, very short. And the reason I'm doing this now to explain to you that next week, this meeting is going to have to clarify things, because as I said, mainstream media broadcast things, international people reverberate, repeats whatever the mainstream says. The other reason he's doing this meeting next Monday, last week on his live, he said that this week he's doing this meeting, but for some reason it's going to happen this Monday. The other reason he did that is because, as I tried to explain to you in the other video, that we have our High Supreme Court and we have the Electoral Supreme Court, which are the same people. The same judges that work here are the same judges that work here. In America, they call justice, and here we call judges. So the same people that work in the High Supreme Court are the same people that work in the Electoral High Supreme Court. So they're going abroad. I do another video specifically, not to make this one very big, but I need to do in more details. So what has happening recently, that our judges is going abroad saying things that they weren't as judges. They have to be impartial, especially because they participate of the elections, though they should be impartial. They should not they should not say some opinions of them. Just to give you an example, back in February in Texas, there was a Brazilian conference, and there's one or two judges over there, and some candidates, presidential candidates, that one that had by the time 1%, 2%, 3% of the intention of the votes. So on this Brazilian conference, talking about politics, the title of the conference was "Ditching a President." How can you, as a judge, as should be impartial, could participate in something like that? Number two, they went already to another one, but I would just give you two examples. They have already booked another Brazilian conference when Doria, the governor of São Paulo, that wanted to be a president as well, but he didn't have enough votes because he did a lot of bad things back in São Paulo. So notorious that he was doing a lot of things wrong, and people did not like him. So he gave up to be a candidate. So he's one of the guys that is organizing this next conference that's going to happen in Harvard in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. And the title of the conference is Brazil Economy Under New Government. That's the title. Brazil's Economy Under New Government. Question, do they know something that we don't know? How can you go abroad saying that Bolsonaro is this, Bolsonaro is that, and democracy is not running, transparency is something? So how can you do such things? How can you say such things if you are a judge of our high Supreme Court, and you are also the same members that take care of our that work for our electoral Supreme Court? Number 3, about 2 months ago-ish, one of our judges, he invited around 70 to 75 representatives of other countries to explain to them that you're going to have our elections and etc. And at the end, he said, after elections, once we announce you who won the elections, you have to accept it. You can't question it. So whoever will announce you, that's going to be the next president, you have to accept it. You can't question it. How? What is the point? I'm so sorry, as I said, I have a cold. How can you invite people and explain something? Of course, every country, when there are the elections, when there are the votes, there should be trust at the elections who should be trustworthy. There's no question about it. You just accept it. So how do you warn people that they have to accept it? Fourth, last week or sometime this week, one of our judges gave an interview to a guy, Mark Zimmerman or Mr. Zimmerman, I can't remember, and he said that after elections, depending on the candidate, which I think he believes, if the other candidate wins, my neighbors wins, depending on the candidate, Brazil will have this kind of riots or these manifestations worse than the Capitolio, worse than back in America, back in 6th of January. And why he says that? Lula cannot go to streets. Lula has little intentions of the vote. Even the media says otherwise. Even it reverberates. Even the internationally, other people, other countries have this information, but actually they have no idea what is happening on the streets of Brazil. What is happening there? Wherever Bolsonaro goes, he has millions of people gathering to salute him. Whenever he goes to inauguration, to deliver, that's my daughter in the corner, to deliver a building or some construction, a road or something, or a bridge that he did, thousands of people go to thank him, to be around him, to say we support you, we love you, and etc. So wherever he goes, he has thousands of support. Big cities, small cities, doesn't matter. People are there for him, and they are aware of that. So this is the reason that they advertise otherwise. But you that do not live in Brazil have no idea what's happened there. So one of the reasons that I did this video in rush is today a colleague of work of mine came to me and said, yes, Vivian, As I said, I live in London, I live in England. And he said, oh, Lula is going to win the elections. And I told him, if you were watching my videos, you were aware that that's not going to happen. That there's no way, because he can't go to streets. He doesn't have votes. People do not support him. People remember, the majority of people remember that he was jailed. He didn't stay all his term, number one of the judges, the one that he's saying that the Capitolio, we will do it even worse than that. And I think I have to explain that to you. And so yes, he told me that Lula is not is going to win, and I said no, he's not. Bolsonaro is going to win 80% minimum first round. And I believe the reason that this Fachin, the judge from the High Supreme Court, he said that Brazil is going to have this worse than the Capitol event back in America, is that he put in a way that Bolsonaro is kind of brainwashing people, or these rioters will be there and people will not accept easily. But the fact is, people know what is going on. People know that Bolsonaro has votes. People are aware of the benefits that he did to the country, even with 2 years of lockdown plus war, plus everything else. If you're pretty fair, if you're pretty honest, you know that 2 years of lockdown is not easy. You have to stop. I forgot the word right now, but anyway. 2 years of lockdown. Of course, poverty back in Brazil is really different than poverty in here. But even there, you know that at the end of the day, the numbers are good. The commodities are giving money to Brazil, and we have our unemployment very down. We have the inflation very down, but people still struggle when they go to the supermarkets and go to do their shoppings. Just like here, electricity is bad, it's very expensive. Gas is very expensive. Food is very expensive. Everything's very expensive. Transport is very expensive. Back in Brazil, is not different. Hi, darling. She is, I think she was watching me. But anyway, that's the thing when you have to do things when you have your family around. Love you. So yes. So even then, people are aware that comparing to the other governments, we are still in good shape comparing to that. As I said, people are aware of our difficulty, economy-wise speaking, but even then, we trust that Bolsonaro is a way better president that we had previously, comparing to Dilma and her people, her party. And so, yes, I was going to say something else, but I completely forgot about what I was going to say. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And if you think this information is relevant, please share and give your opinion. Most of all, give your opinion. Thank you so much. Yes, Giovanna, I did not finish it, but you're already past. Yes, she did it on purpose. Yes, she's my 15-year-old daughter. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye.